So Doordash has a new vision and future of work, access, choice, and security. Let's talk about it.
So, has anybody seen this? Look at that guy, he looks happy, right? Let's get into what DoorDash's plans are for the future of work. I'm gonna talk about some key points here, and I want your guys' opinion. Let's go.
Now, many of you guys probably know, okay, I started my DoorDash Uber career as a very part-time. And DoorDash tells us most people that do this do it 4 hours a week to 10 hours a week. Very part-time, okay? I'm gonna read some statistics, just how 7% of people that dash do this as their only income. Let me repeat that, 7% of people do this and it's their only income. That's it. Very similar to what I was saying in the video I did this week, right? I want to talk about what they got in here. They're talking about protections, benefits, being and staying independent. They talk about Prop 22, legislation in Massachusetts, the 1234 bill or whatever, Illinois, things they've done in New York, what employment options DoorDash is giving people that want to be employees. Interesting stuff. Let's go. So I'll save you guys some pleasantries of an introduction. It basically says DoorDash has been around since 2013. They love people. They love the universe. They want to make the world a better place. Basically, they want to give people earning opportunities while keeping you independent and growing communities and working with small businesses and restaurants and blah, blah, blah. All good. Very PR talky. But at the end of the day, yeah, there's a lot of truth there. Then it talks about their expansion to other companies like Germany and Australia and Canada, and places like that. So we won't get, that's basically the introduction, okay? But I want to read a couple things to you guys, okay? I'm going to put some on the screen here if I can. So there's part one is their vision, okay? To empower local economies, we believe that all workers should have the ability to choose how they earn and to easily access earning opportunities. We also believe that all workers, no matter how they choose to work, should have access to benefits and protections. Interesting. Benefits and protections. What is that? When you hear benefits and protections, what is a benefit and protection for you? Because that could be unique for everybody else, right? So it talks about ensuring all workers have access to protections and benefits will create a stronger market for workers, thereby improving our communities and growing our economies. I believe that. If we achieve this collectively, we can ensure all workers can access what they need and work in the way they want. So they're basically saying if we give our dashers earning opportunities, benefits, protections, that's going to make for a better community because those dashers that live in a community will have more income to do things. They'll be healthier because they have benefits, they'll have protections, they'll feel better, and that makes that community better because they're just overall being able to function in a nicer way, a better way. They got a little bit of money, they got all that stuff, right? So happy dashers make a better community, which I mostly agree with that, right? What do you guys think? Is that just PR talk? Is that just smoke and mirrors? I have no idea. We envision a future of work where all workers have.
So here they're talking about access, choice, and security. Workers deserve the ability to access strong earning opportunities with the low barriers to entry. Yeah, access because anybody can be a dasher. That's basically what access means. DoorDash has an app where literally you need a pulse, you need a driver's license, and an automobile. Well, you don't even need an automobile. You could have a bike, and you can even rent a bike, or you could rent an automobile, right? So access is like, listen, if you have half a brain and a pulse, you can do DoorDash, right? We believe communities thrive when economic opportunity is readily available, which is why we focus on creating a variety of work opportunities in markets where we operate. Yeah, listen, they want everybody to be on the app. They don't care. Choice. Workers should be able to earn in the way that they best suits their needs, whereas an independent contractor or an employee, because DoorDash does have employees, but then they also have, at the office, but they also have employees in New York. We'll get into that in a minute. Security. All workers should have access to benefits and protections. Under current law, independent contractors are not entitled to certain benefits and protections. So as a 1099 independent contractor, because you're not technically an employee, DoorDash is not required to offer you certain benefits and protections that a W-2 would have. I think we all know that, right? For those working through platforms like DoorDash, we believe those benefits must be proportional to the amount they choose to work. Okay. Portable between work on different platforms and flexible to meet their unique needs. So basically saying we understand, You're not just a Dasher. You do Uber Eats, you do Instacart, you do other apps, proportionate to how much you work, because they don't want you working one order a month and then that they're required to give you some kind of benefit for that. I get it. You got to read between the stuff, right? Without sacrificing the independence that defines this kind of work. Okay.
So they're basically trying to protect themselves. DoorDash is, their vision is they understand they want us to be independent for a number of reasons for themselves, but also because most of us want that. Most of us don't want to be a W-2 employee. I do believe that. I think a very smaller percentage want that kind of stuff. They want to be told kind of what to do. They want some structure. Nothing wrong with that. But I think DoorDash understands their audience. They understand what their Dashers want. But they also don't want to just have somebody, like I just said, turn on the app, do one order a month, be considered an employee or something, and then have to have some kind of benefits and this and that. So, while we firmly believe that all workers should have choice, access, and security no matter how they work, at DoorDash we've been engaged in conversations at all levels of government to solve these challenges for members of our specific community, Dashers. We've identified legislative solutions that reflect the nature of app-based work and enable DoorDash and platforms like it to ensure that independent contractors who work with us can continue working with the utmost flexibility and gain access to new benefits and protections. DoorDash wants us, they want things to kind of stay the way they are because it's better for them, but they understand the big bad government, legislation, local states are coming. And they understand that there are some people that want to be a W-2, and those people tend to scream from the hilltops. They strike. They let their voice heard, but that can affect people like me, maybe people like you, and it can affect DoorDash. And if that happens, it could trickle down to the consumer, and then when the consumer is affected, then DoorDash is affected, and then we're affected. It's a triangle for sure, right? Part 2: expanding choice to power opportunity. Powering independent work. Powering. They want to give us power to do this independently. Technology has unlocked new ways for people to access supplemental earnings opportunities at the touch of a button, filling an important need in the labor market that is not served by traditional part or full-time employment. Then it has a nice little story from Kwane S., Washington, D.C. I love these. Let's read this together. Pursuing my passions and hobbies is what keeps me feeling gratified. That's why I appreciate the flexible earning opportunities that Dashing provides. With extra income for making deliveries, I've been able to start my own botany business, which has been a long-time dream of mine. Botany is like flowers and stuff, right? Earning with DoorDash allows me the flexibility to pursue my passions and use the time in my day in a way that makes me feel happy, fulfilled, and productive. Listen, I could see that sign right there, bet on your sickles one day at a time. That's what this whole channel is about, right? I couldn't agree more with that. As cheesy as some might say it sounds, I feel that 100%, right? I feel that. The best way to work these apps and any gig app and to be independent is use it as a stepping stone to something else. That's the one thing I agree with DoorDash on wholeheartedly. If I wanted to be a W-2, if I was concerned about protections and benefits, I'd get me a freaking W-2 job. Everybody's hiring right now. Okay? If I wanted to be told what to do and have a boss and have a schedule and have that kind of job, I would do that. I think a lot of you guys would as well. The flexibility is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but that's really the main reason a lot of us do this. We like that. We like being able to set our own pace, work when we want to work, and work on our real passions and things that we really like, that we get gratitude and we get happiness from. At least that's how I do it, right? Check this out. The vast majority of Dashers, 85%, have sources of income outside of app-based work and are balancing other responsibilities like being a student, caretaker, and more. Then 66% of Dashers say they use DoorDash to make up for lost hours or reduced income from other kinds of work. I think a lot of you guys that watch this channel fall into that. Let me know in the comments if you fall into that 66%. Dashers say they use DoorDash to make up for loss. Okay. Only 7% rely exclusively on app-based work as a primary source of income. Repeat that one more time. Only 7% rely exclusively on app-based work as a primary source of income. I think a lot of you guys that watch this channel and others fall into that group as well. But those are the ones I'm most concerned about, if I'm being honest, because this is ever changing, whether it's legislation, recession, inflation, gas prices, a lot of those factors, those 7% are the ones that I'm most concerned about as far as for the future. Okay, because this is going to change. We have to have this channel is about challenging you guys to bet on yourself. And I show you guys what I'm doing in that, and not everybody agrees with that. Not everybody likes that. Some people just say, Pedro, shut up. Either entertain me or just give me the news or whatever, but don't tell me what I should be doing. I get it. But don't say I didn't tell you so 5 years from now if you're in the same exact position you're in. So if you're not happy with where you're at now and you want to change your things and you're in that 7%, if you want to stay where you're at, cool. I think a lot of people, though, want to do more, strive to do more, get out of debt, make more money, whatever it is. You're not going to make more money 5 years from now doing Doordash. Let me repeat that fact. You're not going to make more money 5 years from now doing this job. You're going to make the same, probably less. Expanding options with a different kind of work. At the same time, we recognize that different people have different needs. Absolutely. And we believe that people should have more options, including employment opportunities for those who want them. So this is where they talk about the New York and how they had the, 15-minute, local bodegas, and very small, densely populated. They had these local bodegas, 15-minute delivery, and then they hired people. They gave them some guaranteed wages. They had to take every order, every delivery, right? They were an employee. And they started at certain Dash Mart locations, and they called them, Dash Corps, okay? So there's not a lot of people that they didn't give a number as to how many they employ, but that's an option. So DoorDash does have employees. So they're letting us know that they have independent contractors, they have employees, they're trying to give people opportunities in communities based on what that community needs and what the Dashers want. All right, part 3, protecting and strengthening independent work. So protecting and strengthening. Protecting, I think, means they want us to be independent. We want to be independent. We want to protect that. We don't want to be W-2s. We don't want this. We don't want that. We like the protection that the apps. We like the flexibility, basically. But strengthening independent work, meaning folding in new things for us, whether it's benefits or protections, like changing this model of labor, because it's very different. Technology, the pandemic, this is a very different, weird kind of thing that we're doing. I think DoorDash realizes that. Certain lawmakers realize it. Dashers realize that. And they're trying to please as many people as possible, but realizing that not everybody's going to be happy regardless of whatever. If DoorDash tomorrow said everybody makes $25 an hour, hey, a lot of people would be happy with that. We're going to guarantee that. But some of you guys that might make more than that would hate that. If you're somewhere where you're making $30 an hour, you'd hate that because you see it as a pay cut to navigate this, right? But let's read a little bit here. Protecting flexibility for independent work. The first step is protecting independent work. So work is to define what makes this type of work unique, truly unique, and valuable for Dashers. From years of talking with Dashers, the answer is clear. Flexibility, the ability to be your own boss, deciding when, where, and however long you want to earn, working on multiple platforms at the same time, never needing to request time away. Let me pause for a second.
This is where it gets a little murky. Do you guys see, what pops out to you what I just read? From years of talking with Dashers, the answer is clear. Flexibility, the ability to be your own boss. Decide when, where, and for however long you want to earn. Some of us don't have that luxury. Some of you guys tell me they pause us. You get kicked out. The app crashes. You can't schedule, so you can't earn. You can't dash now. So deciding when, where, and for however long you want to earn, I think some of you guys would have an issue with that because we don't always have that option, right? Working on multiple platforms at the same time, which we do that, it's called multi-apping, right? Never needing to request time away, that's true, and being able to decide which jobs to accept and which to decline. That is true because we do not have to take what we don't want to take. I'll debate anybody on that. That is why we support policies that protect workers' independence and access to flexible work by ensuring the platform companies cannot impose minimum hour requirements, force app-based workers to accept particular ride or delivery requests, or prohibit them from working for competitors or on other jobs.
There's a lot to unpack there. I want you guys to tell me how you feel about those statements because there's not truth in all of that. And I think most of us understand that and we've lived that and we've been paused and this and that. So they say we can do this, but if you decline so many orders, they pause you, which you can just unpause yourself, but there's a little bit of a gray area with some of what they're saying there, right? So this is where it gets funny. So a proposal for independent workers for the future. So this is how DoorDash was envisioned their future and how they want to kind of do some things here and how they see it working. And this is where I think we need to pay attention. So portable, proportional, flexible, okay? Technology has evolved new ways of working, and we're committed to continuing to work with policymakers to protect workers' independence while guaranteeing new legal protections in law and benefits that are proportional to the amount that they choose to work, portable between work on different platforms, and flexible to meet their unique needs. Portable. Benefits should be connected to the individual so workers can move from platform to platform, meaning you work multiple apps. Taking their benefits with them without interruption or loss of funding. Proportional. Benefits such as occupational accident insurance for on-the-job injuries and protections against discrimination and harassment should exist for every worker. Absolutely. Workers should also be able to earn additional benefits like healthcare, stipends, and access to PTO, leave in proportion to how much they choose to work. Flexible. Allow workers to choose a benefit they want or need, accounting for the different ways people work with app-based platforms like DoorDash. Dashers can make as much as or little as they want, accept whichever jobs they want, and take as much time off as they want with the added assurance that they can return to dashing at any time. That is true. But a lot of us, if your market gets oversaturated, you stop working, you feel like the app don't love you no more, which I don't know if there's any tangible evidence to that, but this is where it got very interesting for me, and this is where I want you guys' opinion. Prop 22 passed with wide support from Californians of diverse backgrounds. Nearly 60% of the vote, so it passed. 55% of Black, Indigenous, and people of color supporting it. 45% of union households. This is Prop 22 out in Cali, right? In 51 out of 58 California counties, so it's not in every county in California, didn't know that. According to a November 2021 poll, November 2021, 59% say they would vote yes in favor of Prop 22 if it were on the ballot again. Now listen, me, I don't work in California. I know a little bit about Prop 22, but at the end of the day, I think if more states have this, I don't know. I'll leave it up to y'all to tell me what you think, but I have mixed feelings about that, if I'm being honest, okay? Across the country, there is wide support for solutions that protect workers' independence. This is the legislation we're talking about, and provide them meaningful benefits. So states like Massachusetts, Colorado, New Jersey, New York, Illinois have different legislations coming up. So Massachusetts, for example, a measure that will appear on the November ballot has support from drivers by a margin of 8-1. Colorado, 87% of drivers like the sound of a hybrid relationship with the companies, maintaining their independent contractor, meaning you don't have to take whatever, you don't have to schedule, you don't have to, be told what to do, you don't have to work a minimum amount of hours, right? 87% of drivers like the sound of a hybrid relationship with the companies, maintaining their independent contractor status and its flexibility while requiring companies to provide some, but not all, of the benefits employees receive. So this is like a hybrid, kind of like you're not a W-2, you're not totally independent because DoorDash is going to give you some kind of benefits and some protections. So you're just like kind of in the middle, right? You can work when you want. You don't have to take any orders you don't want, but we're going to give you some benefits and protections. I don't know. What's the long-term effect of having legislation like that for the ones that don't need the benefits? And you know what I'm saying? Like the ones that just do this part-time and they have benefits at their W-2 and they do this 4 to 10 hours a week. Like, what's the long-term effect of the company being sustainable? Because they need to be sustainable for us to be able to work and have an app where customers can order from. Because any cost and anything that they do for us that costs them more, as far as the benefit side, is going to actually just go right to the consumer. And if the consumer keeps getting charged too much, too many service fees, too many delivery fees, too many regulatory fees, at some point the bubble's going to pop and the orders will stop coming in and then we don't make any money. So if anything, I want it to stay the way it is. I'm not looking for DoorDash to do anything for me. I don't want them to give me anything. I don't expect it. Now, I would love the $2 and $3 orders to go away. I think that's a whole nother topic. We're not talking about that. I think that's criminal. But I don't need them to pay for my insurance. I don't need them to do anything like that. I just don't. Where do you guys fall with that? Then you got New York, Illinois, New Jersey. I'll let you. There'll be a link in the description. You guys can do all that. So they talk very highly of some of this legislation, but I feel like they don't want to do everything the legislation lawmakers want. They want this new hybrid. They're trying to meet in the middle. It's very, very political talk here. It's very political talk, and a lot of this here, this vision and all this, it's for the shareholders. You know that DoorDash is just trying to get in front of this. They're trying to figure out, how do we make this look good? How do we fold this in? How do we, get in front of this? How do we keep this company afloat? They're struggling in a lot of ways. Most of these gig companies are. We're out of the pandemic. Spending is changing. Inflation's crazy. People aren't spending and ordering as much. So they're trying to figure out ways to keep the money coming in for them, pay us as little as possible. But they don't want all this legislation. They want some of the. It's crazy, man. But they have to do $1 billion, $1 million, whatever. Big companies have to do stuff like this because the shareholders see this stuff, right? Most of us drivers, let's just be honest here, are not watching this video and will never see this. Let me repeat that. Most people that work for DoorDash, with DoorDash, for Uber, for Instacart, will never read this at all. What's the percentage do you think people that actually will read this information and watch this video that actually do gig work? I say 2-3%, maybe a little bit more, right? Maybe 5%, that's my guess. We have to understand there's millions and millions and millions and millions of people doing independent work, food delivery. Most of us are not going to watch this video and they'll never see this news article. And DoorDash knows that. But the shareholders, all the lawmakers will see this. So really, that's, and then looking ahead, it talks about beyond advocating for critical long-term solutions like these policies, DoorDash says always focus on establishing partnerships with leading organizations. They talk about Dasher Empowerment, National Urban League. Yeah, I get it. That you're supposed to do that stuff. You don't get brownie points from me. Big companies have social responsibility. I don't even want to read any more of that. So that's just them trying to gloat a little bit. And look what we do. You're supposed to do that. You're a big company. You don't do that because you want to. You do that because you're being told to do that. Because you got to keep up with. Anyways, I could talk about that for 5 hours. Looking ahead, as we move forward, we're more eager than ever to work with those who share our goals to ensure all workers in this country have the choice to work as they want. We should be able to work as we want. The access to income when they need it, yep, and the security that benefits and protections provide. Our focus is on a platform work because we know it best and we believe that there is an immediate opportunity for change. We have concrete ideas for solving the challenges Dashers and workers like them face, informed by years of talking to independent workers, and we urge elected leaders and like-minded organizations to join us in this important effort. So they're saying they understand, they're trying to look ahead, they're trying to get ahead of it. We have to understand, we're more eager than ever to work with those who share our goals to ensure all workers. Listen, I don't believe that. I think DoorDash realizes there's a very small percentage of people that really know how to work the app, cherry pick, make good money. But 90% of people that do this work, especially in the beginning, have no idea what they're doing. They think they're an employee. They think they work for DoorDash. They're taking a lot of orders. They're not making money. Then they quit. And then a new set of new people come in. DoorDash doesn't like people like you and I that are betting on themselves. They're only going to do it a little bit. And then they say they do. But DoorDash wants the minions to deliver all the orders. And they want to pay you the little amount of money as possible to do it. And they understand legislation could cripple into some of their profits, but at the end of the day, if we become employees, DoorDash might also think, okay, well, let's just get in front of this. Let's just pay them $10 an hour, $12 an hour. You got to take everything. People like me will fall off. People like you will fall off, but we're the minority. And a whole new slew of new drivers might come in. They take every order. More customers are happy. I don't know. It's just a crazy conspiracy theory. What do you guys think about this? Put it in the comments down below. Did you guys see this? I think there's been videos about this. I'm not really sure. But at the end of the day, this is news. DoorDash is talking about our vision for the future of work, access, choice, and security. A little bit of a PR stunt for me, a little bit for the shareholders. They got to put this nice thing together. At the end of the day, I'll show you something.
What's funny is how many of you guys do this work, have a red hat on, a DoorDash hoodie with your DoorDash bag? I bet most of you guys do not.
But at the end of the day, listen, what do you guys think about this? Put the comments down below. Maybe I'm completely off. At the end of the day, DoorDash, I think, in my opinion, they're trying to get ahead of what they know is coming. They're trying to paint a pretty little picture and wrap it up in a nice little bow and whatever. We need to use these apps as a stepping stone part-time. Come up with an exit strategy. Times are changing. It's going to be harder to make as much as you did last year. Each year will get just a little bit worse. You're going to have some good days in there. But if you're in that 7%, figure out what your next move is. And if you're in that 7 and you're making good money, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll make good money doing something else. But just be ahead of it. Be ready. More states are going to have more legislation. DoorDash will continue to have to react and do this and pivot and move. At the end of the day, base pay will go down. I'm still staying very strong on that. I'm still thinking this summer it will go down. Or this year at some point I'm gonna see my base pay go from less than $2.25. It might go down to $2, $1.50. It's gonna happen. They have to figure out a way to save the money to do the things that they're talking about in this vision board. Okay? And at the end of the day also, I'm not even mad at DoorDash. A lot of people think DoorDash is the worst company ever. I don't fall in line with that. I just don't. DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, all these apps are going to be what you make it. And if you can't make money doing this work and you hate it, go do something else. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. If you can't make money doing this and you hate it that bad, go find something else. There is an opportunity out there for you. Take personal responsibility for your earnings. See you tomorrow.